Hey everybody, this is Dream, and today we have a nice little NBA slate with 10 games for you. Before I get started, can you guys smash that like and subscribe button? I am at my shop, so this is going to be a little bit different, but overall, I'm going to kind of run through this quickly. We have a ton of injuries today. So Banchero is out, Levine is questionable, Jalen Brown is out, Jamal Murray is out, Anthony Davis is questionable. Joel Embiid is out. Desmond Bain is out. Zion Williamson is questionable. Wendell Carter's out. Nick Richards is out. CJ McCollum is out. DeJounte Murray is out. Sochan is out. PJ Washington is out. Nimhard is questionable. Nesmith is out. Mark Williams is out. Marcus Smart, is out. Jordan Hawkins and Dylan Brooks are both questionable. Melton is out. Porzingis is out. Hunter is questionable for the Hawks. Herb Jones is out. Karis LeVert is questionable. Dean Wade is out. Terry Eason and Derek Lively Jr. Is questionable as well. So we have a lot of outs and tags today. We got a lot of value plays on the slate. You're probably gonna have to pay up for some expensive guys today, and it's kind of like who do you like better between Joker, Doncic, Wemby, and Shea Alexander and Tatum. I'm probably leaning towards Shea Alexander, Doncic, and Jokic at the top three there, but Wemby does look decent in this matchup as well, as he's been playing really good last couple games. So, but let's get into the value plays here. So for point guards first, we're going to look at Russell Westbrook. He's going to be starting for Denver again. He's just too cheap, quite frankly. With him getting 30 plus minutes, he's going to have that 25 fantasy points pretty easy. So being the starter, and he's going to have that, almost double, double, triple, double type stuff going today. So he looks like he's a fantastic play. Uh, he's just too cheap and too easy to use. Now, if you wanted to look at Tyrese Halliburton, he's a decent mid-range price point at $8,000. He did struggle to start the year, but he's really been playing better the last few games, so I think he's in a good spot here in a positive matchup. So he's definitely somebody I like quite a bit here. Chris Paul also looks interesting for San Antonio, as he's going to get more minutes today. His minutes have been up in the 30s last three games. He's been over 40 fantasy points in all those games, and he's definitely a great play on the slate as well with injuries. So a lot of guys there. D'Angelo Russell, if he does play, which he's probable, he should be a decent play on this slate, but he's definitely more contrarian along with Austin Reeves. Both of those guys are probable, but they both should play, but they both have some high risk, high reward situations there. For shooting guards, Tim Hardaway Jr. for Detroit looks very interesting today against Charlotte. He's been good at times. He's a little bit pricey, but he's definitely capable of getting the 20 fantasy points. He's not a must play, though. This position is probably the weakest on the slate, but one of my favorite plays at the position is Mikal Bridges for the Knicks, as he is priced pretty fairly. He's had a consecutive amount of games where over 30 fantasy points in 4 of the last 5, even against tough teams. Now he does have a low floor because he sometimes cannot do too much on the uh, outside of the scoring, but he is capable of having a big game here. Austin Reeves can also play here. And then Benedict Mathurin for Indiana also looks pretty interesting here, as he should get more minutes with some of the injuries remaining on the Pacers. I look for him to get over 30 fantasy points today as well. Looking at the small forwards, Najee Marshall for Dallas is in a really good spot. He's going to get a lot of minutes today with all the injuries here. And I look for him to have a big boost in playing time again, and he should be able to eclipse 20 fantasy points, if not 30, on this one. I also like Tim Hardaway Jr. for Detroit. He's kind of contrarian today, but he can play at that shooting guard position, like I told you, and he definitely has that upside here in this matchup. Mikal Bridges can also play here. OG Anunoby also looks interesting for the Knicks. His minutes are going to be near maxed out, and he's going to have that big time upside, though he does have a low floor, so keep that in mind. Benedict Mathurin can play here as well. Looking at power forwards, Najee Marshall obviously can play here. Peyton Watson is kind of an interesting play. He might get 30 minutes again in this one, and he's been playing well the last 2 games. So if he does continue to get those minutes, then he's definitely going to be somebody I would consider here. I also like Tobias Harris as a cheap option, who has been really good, consistent in times for fantasy, and he's been playing pretty consistent so far this season. So I like him a lot here as well. OG and Novi can also play here. Looking at our centers, we will start with Guida for Boston. Now he should be drawing another start, and he does have that upside to get 20 fantasy points. He does have a super low floor, though, so keep that in mind. Miles Turner also looking very interesting for Indiana today, as he does have a big time upside, but he is always a guy that's been robust. Joseph Nurkic looks interesting for Phoenix, as he does have a good ceiling, though he has struggled at times this season, and this is a tougher matchup, but he is capable of a big game here with the situation there. And then Wemby and Towns both have good potentials for more expensive options on this slate. Though I do think Towns is probably relatively safe because he's got a high ceiling. The way he's been playing lately is really solid, so I definitely like him a lot too. With that said, guys, thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you have any comments, questions, feel free to leave them below. Have a nice day. I will note that I will do college basketball later, probably, but I don't know if I'll do a video. So make sure to join the Discord so you can see the write up for that. I will note that I will probably do videos for college basketball most days. It's just today I was a little behind, so I'm not going to be able to get to it.